Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to share with you guys our stories of how we got into holistic health. I guess a lot of people assume that we've always lived healthy, and that's not the case for us. So we wanted to share with you guys kind of what led us into becoming a holistic family. And so Brian's going to start with his story, and really the reason why I am living the way that I am today is because of him. So I'll let him start and then we will go with that. Before the end of this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out, and this channel is going to be about healthy living. So I'm a mama, and we try to do healthy living with not only us but with our children, our child right now and future children, and our dog. Anyways, I would love for you to subscribe and to stick around.
So my story goes back for about 15 years. I started in fitness at a YMCA, and my background at that time was really I just played sports in high school, and exercise was something that I always used as a means to get in shape for the sport that I was playing at the time, but I never really paid much attention to the nutritional side. And to say that I had a sweet tooth would be an understatement. I would, as an example, I used to make no-bake cookies, and I'd make no-bake cookies, batches of them. I'd eat, probably the whole batch, and then I'd go out for a run. I felt terrible, but I thought at that time that burning calories was the key to everything, and just expending them and taking them in, you could balance things out that way and stay in great shape. So it took a while, but that was, like as I said, 15 years ago. And then probably 6 years ago, 6 years ago, I started getting sick a lot. And it's like every time that the flu season would roll around or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily always have the flu, but I would end up with strep throat, and it was like just chronic. It was like I would get strep throat, and then I would go to the doctor's office, and of course I was prescribed antibiotics either by pill or an injection of antibiotic, and I'd get better. And I felt a little bit better too, but I really wasn't addressing the needs. And so what happened for me was, and you could look at me and you would think that I was healthy, but realistically I was fit, but I wasn't healthy. And so in about 2014, I met with Diana Davis, who is a holistic nutrition PhD, and
She's a dietitian.
Holistic. She's a
holistic dietitian.
Okay.
I'll put her information in the description box below in case you wanted to hook up with her.
And she was just a complete game changer for me. When I met with her, I thought that I had a fair understanding about nutrition. I had a background where I'd done a couple of bodybuilding competitions, so for me, my mindset was more of a macronutrient, counting macros or calories, and really paying attention to how much I was getting, not necessarily the quality of what I was consuming. And that goes for everything from food all the way to even the supplements that I was taking at the time. I was taking a whole mess of supplements that really had no value for my body and didn't belong in them. She had me do a micronutrient test. And so what micronutrients are just vitamins and minerals. And so we assessed a lot of different variables. And the first time that I went to do the assessment, she approached me as I was warming up for a workout one day, and she said, I don't know if this is a good time to talk or something like that. And she said, I got the test back, and they said you didn't have enough white blood cells to actually complete the test in the blood that I had given in order to measure my micronutrients. So long story short, I mean, what that meant was that at some point in my life, and that was the biggest reason why I was getting sick so frequently, but I just told Megan that the other day. I felt like, if that hadn't have happened, if I hadn't have taken the time to really start to investigate what was going on with me and my health at that time, I feel like that all signs would have pointed to some form of cancer at some point in my life. Simply, and it may still happen, I mean, God forbid, but at least the chances can be minimized by providing myself with the nutrients that I need. And so now, most folks look at what I do, and I'm a little over the top. Maybe a little is the wrong word, but a lot over the top with the way that I approach things. But I'm constantly trying to learn more and just figure out what's the right combination for me. It's never, even after seeing Diana, that wasn't where I was like, okay, that's it, that's perfect for me, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's still an evolution. It's still something that I learn about every single day. Of course, it's part of the industry that is my profession, so it's important that I do. But I'm never going to stop learning on it, and I think that's a take-home message of this: is you have to start wherever you are in your life, start figuring out how to fuel your body properly. And the worst thing about when we think about eating right or eating well is that we think that means it's dieting, and that means that we're eating crappy food. And when I met Megan, and when we started when we got married and I was cooking, she pretty much became the spice of my food, and explained to me how salt, that could be good, garlic, peppers, a lot of these things. I was cooking very bland and basic foods, and really didn't enjoy my food that much, and she kind of added to my repertoire a little bit as far as cooking goes. And now it's hard for us to go out to eat, simply because we know that we can make food at home that tastes better, is better for us, and for me, a large enough quantity.
Cheaper.
And cheaper, yeah, that's a good point.
For sure, especially for the quality that we're doing.
Absolutely.
Mine started, I've been around fitness pretty much my whole entire life. My uncle was into bodybuilding, and I remember when I was 15 or 16, I said I wanted to do that. I just really wanted to look that way. I really just wanted to look like the girls did on stage, and I wanted to be disciplined with my food and stuff like that. But I was more like him, like everything was calorie based. I thought, if I work out enough, then I'll be skinny enough, and I'll look the way that I can. And then, like, the bodybuilding style food stuff was really boring to me. I hated vegetables. I hated chicken. I hated fish. I hated chocolate. I still don't like chocolate. So everything that was offered in that lifestyle to get that achieved look, I hated. I would kind of go on it, and then I would just get bored with it. And I lived off of pizza and cereal. And I've never been like overweight, but when we started dating, I was like, I don't know, would you call it chronic fatigue?
Yeah.
I mean, it was awful. Like, I would go to bed at 6 o'clock, and I did work an early shift, so I had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning. But I would go to bed at 6 o'clock, and I would sleep until 4:30.
Even days when you wouldn't get up that early, you would still crash out for 2, maybe 4 hours at a time. Yeah.
I mean, I was just absolutely exhausted. My menstrual cycles were beyond painful. Like, I would be in so much pain. Like, I would be sick to my stomach, and I would vomit, and it was just awful. Headaches. I had headaches all the time. My stomach, I was on my way. I'm pretty sure I was on my way to having Crohn's or IBS, something like that, just because of all the stomach issues that I had. And I'd had that for a very long time. But eating healthy food just wasn't appealing to me. So I did the same micronutrient test that he did, and I found out that I have MTHFR, which is a really, really long word. I don't even know how to say it. But it's like my body doesn't have the ability to get rid of toxins like most people's body does. So I was just filling my body with toxins, and it wasn't able to get rid of it as fast as I was putting it in. So we started eliminating dairy. We started eliminating gluten. There goes my cereal, and there goes my pizza. Like, everything. I was like, what the crap? What am I going to do? So I started taking supplements. I needed folate. My body was not able to break folic acid down into folate. So I started doing that, and I took a manganese supplement, and she gave me several other supplements. I don't take all of them anymore. I still do take the folate. Over the period of 2-3 months, I started feeling so much better. I had more energy. Things like my skin was looking better. My stomach was feeling better, and then we started like cooking together, and I knew for me, like, I had to have some flavor. He would eat plain ground beef with rice and ketchup. Like, that's so gross. And so, like, we just started introducing spices to our food, and then from there, like, I loved Chinese food, or I loved pizza, or whatever it was. I would try to take that favorite meal and make it healthy. And then I started trying fish, and I started trying vegetables, and my diet has completely changed from, even 5 years ago. Like, things that I would never have even touched 5 years ago are like, I'm craving now. Like cucumbers. Salad and cucumbers and green peppers. I would have never eaten green peppers.
Like mushrooms.
I didn't, there was so many things I didn't like, but once I was able to let my taste buds like renew themselves and give them the nutrients that they needed, they started changing, and I started actually craving and liking the foods that I once thought were so disgusting. My menstrual cycles did not like completely, I guess, go as planned when I was working with Diana. I still had cramps. We tried progesterone cream and stuff like that. And eventually she told me, she said, you're probably just going to have a child. And so I hung on to that hope that after I had a baby that they would get better if I continued with the diet and lifestyle that I was continuing with, or that I was doing. And it did. My menstrual cycles are, I don't really know if that's normal or not for a person, but I don't have headaches hardly ever anymore. And I've not had to take any kind of medicine. Very rarely do I have to take any kind of pain reliever anymore.
I used to take ibuprofen pretty regularly.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have changed, and like for us, like we are a Christian family, so we do believe that God placed people in our lives at the exact moment that we needed it. Like with him, like he was in and out of the doctor's office like every other week and out of work, and thankfully he had a job where if he missed, it was not going to be his paycheck gone. But I mean, eventually he was going to have to work with that too. So, but he really needed it. And then now that I feel the way I feel, and knowing how I felt before, it is a huge difference on how much better I feel. Like I don't ever want to go back to that. And I think that's a big reason why now I continue to eat the way that I do. And we don't always eat perfectly. We get off track sometimes, but I think we want to get back on track a lot quicker because of the way we feel. You say that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think overall, you're just having cleaned up the way that we eat. It has been a means for us to really get along better. I mean, it makes you, the fact that I feel better, as the fact that I have energy, or that, you know, I feel well overall, allows me to not have to feel, you know, I guess, down or I guess run down. I can remember very clearly times in the past before I really started cleaning up my nutrition, and just at that time, like she said, most days I was eating, you know, I have a breakfast, and then I was living off of caffeine, pre-workout, stuff like that, just making it through the day. And it's taken some time to get rid of the really trashy, I guess, pre-workouts that are out there that I was consuming. But, you know, those things are addictive. I mean, they in a lot of ways control my mood, and you know, if I didn't have a workout in a day, it was almost like a part of me was missing. I wasn't, you know, the person that I thought I should be. Wasn't that easy to deal with, or I was just super quiet and had no desire to talk to anybody because I just didn't feel well. And I think a lot of folks, unfortunately, live their lives there and have to, you know, survive off of, you know, the 2 p.m. pick me up. As our baby jumps off the couch, the you know, coffees and things that have to happen at certain times of the day just because of how run down that we are. But, you know, I'm not saying get rid of coffee or you know, completely eliminate, you know, all the things that you enjoy in your life, but you really have to start paying attention to what you're putting in your bodies. Food companies, it's their job to, you know, unless they are emphasizing quality of life and really paying attention to micronutrients and the health of the person that they expect to consume their food. But, you know, a lot of the major ones, their job is to make sure that you come back and buy more. And so if they can provide you with something that's loaded with things that are hyper palatable, you know, like natural flavors and, you know, super salty, super sweet things, like, you know, that's their job. That's their job for their business, to make money. So you have to realize that and pay attention to what's on ingredient labels. There's a lot of things on a label that just have no business in our body and are really toxins to us. And when you get those out of your life, you start getting more simple and, you know, really looking at the ingredients and, you know, thinking about how many ingredients does an apple have, or banana, or, you know, spinach or kale. And of course you can add things to make things taste better. I don't sit around just chew on kale, but, you know, you can put it with things, mix it into things, and make it, you know, super flavorful, and really enjoy the benefits that nutrition really has for your body. When you start putting good things in your body, good things will happen, you know, everywhere else in your life. And it just makes you a better spouse, or better
person.
yeah, better overall person, more productive on your job, more productive in just every aspect of your life, really.
The reason I wanted to do this video for you guys is to show you that this stuff for us didn't happen overnight, and it's still, I mean, we've not reached that perfect diet, and we never will until, you know, we're in heaven one day. But, you know, we do feel like that, you know, God gave us natural medicine and stuff here on earth to help heal our bodies in a natural way. And I'm not saying anything against like doctors or anything like that, because I know that they have a heart for people too. But I do think a lot of times we resort to that first before we ever take our health into our own hands. And I think that's where we need to, as for us, like if we hadn't met with Diana and like really gotten to know what our bodies can do for us and how we can help fuel our bodies naturally, I mean, we would probably be really, really sick right now. And I honestly don't think that I would have had a baby. I was having a lot of hormonal issues, and if you mamas know anything about folate is a very important necessity to have while you're carrying a child, and that helps with the development of the child and, you know, carrying the baby. And I was so low on that, it was almost non-existent. So if I hadn't met with her, because I met with her about 2 years before we got pregnant with Selah, or a year and a half, that was about 2 years. So if I hadn't gotten with her and had these tests done and, you know, decided to start living healthier and providing my body with the nutrients that it desired and needed, then I really don't think that we would have a baby today. And I'm not saying that anything that we did, you know, every child is a blessing from God, but I do feel like that He gave us the tools that we needed to get to where we wanted to go and have a baby, and hopefully have several more later on.
I want a sibling. Give me a brother.
Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I would love for you guys to leave any questions you have in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really does support my channel. And if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel. We've got plenty of videos coming up for you. I do exercise videos, we do recipe videos, just lifestyle videos. So would love for you guys to follow along on our journey. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.